What up, YouTube? It's your boy Iceman Guru, aka Dr. J, back at you with another installment on the high frequency only, man. Hey, today's topic, we're gonna get right into it, man. Today's topic is Jagged Ed said, let's get married or not. Alright, so let's go into it, man. So, a lot of people will propagate, a lot of people will advocate for marriage. That is a lot of people end goal in a relationship, and I'm not knocking it. I have experience with marriage. I have friends that are married, relatives that are married. But now we all know that the divorce rate is over 50%. Okay. I'm not knocking marriage. I'm just saying there's a reason why the divorce rate is over 50%. Okay. Because everybody that get married, first of all, don't know how to be in a successful marriage, because let's just be real, marriage is a business. Okay. And the reason why marriage is a business, let's just go into a little bit of the history, shall we? Okay. Now, marriages first started out as a private matter. Okay. Two families will come together. A lot of times, the family that those two families that came together, one had to pay a dowry. All right. So it was a business arrangement from the jump. All right. And it was a private matter. Okay. Now the church got involved, turned into something of a sanctity thing, and then that's when it became religious. I talk about that in my upcoming book that's dropping next year. So I won't go into any more further details, but marriage has always been about business. Always. Okay. A lot of people who get into marriages don't understand that. So they get into thinking that it's about love. Okay. Not saying that love is not a part of marriage. We know this. We know when it comes to social relationships, people fall in love, like, lust. Okay. The three L's. But to think that marriage is just about love is being naive, because one, we know anytime you sign a contract, that has something to do with business. All right. So you get a marriage license, you're tied to the government, you're tied to the state. You sign contracts. In order for you to get out of that marriage, you have to go to court. So it's a business. Okay. So a lot of people, a lot of women are not prepared to be a wife, because a lot of times their mother was never a wife. And a lot of men were never prepared and grown to be husbands, because a lot of times we didn't see the father in the home. So not only are people ill prepared because they don't understand that marriage is a business and understand that you have to address it as such, but they also not groomed to be wives and groomed to be husbands. Okay. And then we got to talk about the other aspect. The other aspect is everybody just don't want to be married. Okay. Check this out. If every adult male want to marry an adult female, there'll still be women left over who are not married. And that is because there are more women than there are men. So just off the sheer number, and that's not taking into account the murder rate of men, which is much higher. That's not taking into account the incarceration rate of men, which is much higher than that of women. Different lifestyles, and I think y'all know what I'm talking about when I say different lifestyles. So there are other factors that are not accounted for in this situation. Okay, so just off the sheer rational numbers, off the statistics of it, marriage would not fit everybody just based off that. And then not taking into account that everybody don't want to be married. We're in modern times. Okay, particularly for men, we have to ask ourselves, and we have to be real honest about this. How does marriage benefit a man? Okay. Now, I will tell you that I'm all for marriage for people who want to start families, for people who want to raise kids, because I believe you need that masculine and feminine in the household. All right. So I'm all for it. But if you don't want kids, or if you've already had kids or already been in a situation where you didn't have kids, whether that's through marriage or a relationship and you just didn't work out, In every situation, marriage is not needed, okay? Because you can get the same things without the business part of it. Because let's just be real. Going back to it, marriage is a business. We shouldn't poo-poo that, okay? We shouldn't take that out of the equation. That's the reason why a lot of marriages are failing, okay? We look at the financial aspect. Well, if a woman is not provided for and taken care of, a lot of times she's leaving that relationship. That has to do with business. We just got to keep it real with ourselves, okay? We got to stop lying to ourselves. It's about business, okay? Now, we can throw infidelity in there, and that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video that we can discuss. That's also another reason, but I would say one of the biggest reasons is finance, which has to do with business. All right. So everybody don't want to be married. People keep putting it out there. Marriage is the end goal. You should date with intentions. You do. That's cool and all, but we talking about reality. A lot of people are on theory, right? In theory, marriage sounds real good. The reality is, a lot of people that are in marriages are unhappy, cheating on each other, and a very small percentage of marriages are people who are actually not cheating on each other, happy, raising a functional family, right? You got a lot of people shacking up, living in separate households, but still married on paper. Now, I'm not saying this to down marriage or get people discouraged into getting married. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is this. If you have a plan to get married, you have to plan out your marriage, right? So you got to have the finances in order. You got to have a parenting plan, okay? You got to have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 15-year plan. It is a business, and you need to treat it like such, or you will be unsuccessful in your marriage. You will be unhappy in your marriage if you do not have a plan. That's what I'm saying, okay? And a lot of times, the reason why people are unhappy and the reason why marriages don't even make it to 3 years, let alone 5 or 10, we don't see 30, 40-year marriages no more. And the reason why is because of capitalism, consumerism, okay? We evolved to where, hey, it is a fast culture, okay? We a microwave culture, as I like to say, okay? Everything is fast, fast, fast. So if you're not keeping up, okay? If you are with somebody that's not keeping up, if you're with somebody that you don't feel is, is keeping current and up to date with how you operate as a person and just what it takes to actually be successful and keep a family thriving, then it's going to be tough. And that's where the planning come in, the execution. All right. So no, marriage is not for everybody because everybody is not going to put in the work that it needs in order to have a successful marriage. That's why it's not for everybody. Okay. Relationships we can get into, dissolve, move on. It's easier for people that way. Because you don't have to go to court. You don't have all that baggage unless you have kids. But this is just real talk right here. All right? So, hey, trust me, I've been there, done that. Okay? It's not for everybody. And the biggest thing is, going back to it, how does marriage benefit men? Because let's just be real. If we talk about it from a perspective as a married man, are they happy? What are the benefits to marriage? You're going to get some interesting answers. Okay? Now, we know a lot of women like to get married for the security, for the protection, the provision, things of that nature, to have kids with a man, procreate. Okay? There's advantages. Now, but if you look at it from a man perspective, what are the benefits that will get me to settle down with one woman where now I have expectations, now I have to be in at a certain time, now I gotta say, will you look at the time? I gotta go home, fellas. Like, the biggest thing for a man is independence, is freedom. And a lot of that is taken away when you get married. It can also be taken away in a relationship. But like I said, with relationships, they're more fluid. Marriages are seen as permanent, even though they're not as permanent as they once used to be. Okay? So that's another reason why a lot of men are not quick to get married nowadays, man. So when it comes to the black community, 1 in 4 black women are getting married. And part of the reasons why is black men don't see the benefits of being married. But also is that, well, modern day women are not wives. A lot of them don't know how to cook or clean or don't want to. All right. So why would we commit to a marriage with someone who's not willing to do the work? All right. So these are all issues that we have to address. We have to address the reasons why we want to be married. We have to address, well, what plan are we putting in place in order to have a successful marriage? So these are important factors, and these are important questions that has to be talked about up front during the courting process, the dating process. Because yes, it is a process. All right. Man, hey, we're gonna end the video right there, man. Hey, man, I appreciate all y'all, man. Please subscribe, like, pass it on to the people. Comment, hit that bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. Hey, as always, I am you, you are me. Love always, love eternal, man. And we out this chain. Peace.